Hello, 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 family. I'll give y'all a couple minutes to get in here. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right. Happy Self-Care Saturday. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Give folks a couple of minutes to jump in here and we will get started. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. If you are watching live, say hello in the chat so I know who's here with me. I'm still getting used to this, so it will help me to kind of figure out where I should be looking. Hey, little sister. Hey, hey. Thanks for joining me. Who else is in here? There's a couple more of y'all here. Hey, Linkums. All right, all right. So we're going to get started. I won't be on long. This is Dr. Kelly. I'm a board certified internal medicine physician, currently practicing hospital-based medicine. Fancy term. I am a hospitalist. Hi, Rainies. Hello, family. I mentioned last week that I am in a physician business course called Medical Moguls Academy. And so a part of that is getting me acclimated to being live on Facebook and branding myself as a medical mogul, as an expert in the field of medicine. So today, what we're going to talk about briefly is self care. And, I know that we are all dealing with a lot going on in our world at this point. COVID was one thing. And then, we've just had incident after incident of, just the race issues going on right now are crazy. And so all of that complicating things. And then, we are under curfew in most cities and there's looting and rioting and all sorts of things going on, right? And so you can't turn on the TV or even be on your Facebook feed without being inundated with those images, whether it's a video, whether it's ignorant statements by some, crazy comments, just all sorts of things. And most of it, um, I just seriously feel like we have to be cognizant of our mental health and make sure that we're taking breaks and that we are protecting our space from some of those things. So, for myself, I have to, because I try to keep a pulse on what's going on, particularly as it relates to coronavirus and how many new cases we're getting and all these types of things. So I'm still having to be, in tune somewhat, and so I still get more exposure to a lot of the negativity and a lot of the images of, George Floyd's murder, more than I really want to. I vowed to myself that I was not going to watch another video. The last video I watched was the death of Philando Castile. And, that just messed me up in so many different ways. Just the whole situation. And, of course, we all know that was not the first at all, and certainly has not been the last. But I made a conscious decision not to watch and subject myself to that over and over and over again. And so, with all that said, I ended up seeing more of George Floyd's murder than I ever intended. And so, I have to be very intentional with my media watching and how much I'm on Facebook. Because even I think for me, a lot of times Facebook tends to be someplace I can go and be mindless and just scroll and like, and oh, look, the kids are cute. Oh, great, they're growing up. So and so's graduating. But there's so much more of the other stuff that it tends to not even be enjoyable or a mindless activity at this point. It's still I guess provoking, if that makes any sense, or triggering for me. So on Self Care Saturday, which every day is a self care day, right? But I felt like, okay, that's a day that most people are off of work now, that most people are still are staying home, and we don't have as many activities and meetings and things that we have to physically be at. It's actually easier on the weekends to kind of like, let's focus, let's do something for self. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and I'm glad you guys are in the chat. Maybe we can, have a little engagement here about things that people are doing for self care. So I picked three. Two of them are easier for me than the third. So let's get in here. So the first thing that I came up with was limiting social media and exposure to the news, specifically with traumatic events. So that's big for me. Is realizing when I'm getting to that point, and I have to say I've had enough. So, okay, I see um, that folks are chiming in. Hello, everybody that's just joining us. So that's my number one. My number two is exercise. That stuff is very important for me, and being able to maintain, my physical activity. I am a member of Orange Theory and was going there about 4 times a week. And even though my gym has opened, I have not returned to the gym. The majority of that is because of my exposure to COVID-19 patients on a weekly basis at work. It's a small space, it's recycled air, and I don't know everybody and their health problems at the gym. And so I feel like it's reckless for me to kind of expose people to that. And the fact that I could possibly be an asymptomatic carrier. So, I can't preach one thing and then go do something else, even though for my mental health and my sanity, I would love to go to the gym. So I have to do things here at home or, in my neighborhood or whatever that keep that going. So exercise is big for me. And then the last one is the one that's not super easy for me, and that's meditation. I'm a thinker all the time. Like I overthink, a lot of times. And so I live in my head. And so to shut that down and to be able to tap into, the things that I'm blessed about, to just kind of bring some peace and some calm is a good thing. And to try to shut that off and stop always operating in the to-do list is a great thing. And so that one's the tough one for me. And I have to kind of like do guided meditation because me just sitting, I'm like 2 seconds into meditating, and next thing I know, I'm like, okay, but from the grocery store, I need to get this, that, and the other thing. Like meditating for me, I have to have somebody telling me, like, take a deep breath, whatever, or listening to rain or whatever. Like I need something else to kind of guide me into that quiet space because my brain doesn't allow for it. Throw in the chat for me, for those of you guys who are watching, what are some things that you do? Maybe we can share and kind of see what are people doing in this time of COVID, of seclusion, of quarantining, of protecting your mental space. What are you guys doing that might help somebody else to kind of maintain their self care? So, some other things that people do. Anybody got anything? Those are just my kind of three. There's obviously several other ways to do that. Another one that I can actually think of off the top of my head is Zoom. Zoom has been a blessing. I got together with some friends from medical school. Actually, last night I've had chats with my line sisters. And so that still allows us to feel connected. It's not the same as if we were, all in one room and touching and agreeing and carrying on, but it's better than absolutely nothing. And how else would you get 10, 12 people in the same space? So I think just keeping that communication, seeing people's faces, seeing them in their environments, all of that feeds you in a positive way. So that's really all I wanted to kind of talk about was just making sure that we maintain whatever it is that brings us peace, whether that's going for a walk, reading a book, turning your phone off, no social media, or I'm going to watch a movie, or whatever it is that you do for yourself, especially because we're just inundated with such negativity, inundated with how wrong and off things are. And so you have to have something that grounds you, something that reminds you of your why, gives you something to hold on to. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard, especially when for Black and brown bodies, it's tough sometimes. And from what I'm seeing when I am on my social media, a lot of people are just posting, "I'm not okay. I'm not okay," and I think that's perfect to acknowledge that you're not okay. But then we got to do something to get okay and to preserve that and to be more okay than we're not okay. And so how do we shift that? And so whether that's interaction with other people, whether that's, look, I just need me time, or I need therapy, I need to talk to someone. All of those things are healthy, positive outlets. So this is just really a reminder to take care of yourself, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that means to you, and to love a little bit harder, because honestly, it's a rough time. It really is a hard time to be a human, and then you complicate that with being a Black or brown human, and it definitely ups the ante. So I just wanted to jump on really quickly just to say hello to everybody, get a little more comfortable and acclimated with being on Facebook Live. This is only my second one in life. So, feel free to drop comments, or for those of you guys who are in my personal circle, and you can text me and just let me know how things are going, what I can do better. Love you guys, mean it. Want you to stay safe, wear a mask when you're out. Our COVID numbers are going up, okay? So be safe out here, going to the stores and interacting with people. Love on each other. Tell somebody you love them today, because you just never know when it might be your last opportunity, okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless you. And I'll see y'all next time. Love you. Mean it.